What's up, Zodi? What's up, Cletus? How you doing? Yeah, I had a party at the house, and so I meant to get a raid video up, and we'll get it done, right? I'm doing well. Yeah, Sean Ryan, let's do it. All right, let's do it. Sean Ryan's here already. Ping me really quick on Discord, and I'll get yours started first. Hello and welcome. We are doing a couple of roster reviews here, and we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and on Facebook. I think Facebook also. So I missed one the other day because we had some issues with the password. Sean Ryan, ping me. Yeah. Ping me on. There we go. I see it here. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's try it. All right. Well, let's see. Let me log out here on this account, and let me pull it up on. How do I do this without? Let me pull it up on my phone here shortly. I don't want to wreck my energy. Hey, sexy beast, I know. Oh, is this dead? Judicator coming there over 28 months. We'll get started, yeah. We already got 2 people subbed. All right. Well, that is coming online. All right. Let's get this up on my tablet, my personal account up on my tablet. Also, one of the things I might do tonight is do the Galcabar, start that account. Yeah, I gotta pull it up on my tablet and run in the background because the server reset was what, 2 hours ago? All right, as soon as it kicks me out of this here, then I'll run the other one. These usually only take like a minute apiece. Back to Boomers Bastards. I know. Yeah, or I could start Boomers Bastards too. How's it going, Fergo? Let's see here. How long is this taking so long? I thought these only took like a minute or something. I might need to update some of these teams now that I've got some stronger characters like Marius and Newt, so that I can go faster times. I mean, I think that might require like an overhaul one of these days, like a full PvE overhaul. Okay, so we got that. So that I can speed this up on a daily basis. All right, we're logging out. They're instant? Yeah, I need to do that. I need to set it up to have it like, yeah, just like for my entire account so I can get my daily activities done in like, the quickest amount of time as possible. All right, let's turn on the phone link. All right. Yeah, Marius new type 2, Lydia for defense down to Adani reset. Oh my god. It's like 23 seconds. All right. I think mine's right now is like 48 seconds, but 23 seconds would be much faster. All right. That is coming up. Let's see. How do I get this to work the easiest? This is going to be gameplay source. I'm going to disappear here. And we got to turn the tablet on. And then there it is right there. Okay, so that's my personal account. All right. And no. Wow, it's laggy. It's interesting. Well, it's probably because of the Wi-Fi. Let's see. We got to get rid of, let's do this. Because let's do dungeon. And I don't know if I finished the Fire Knight one yet. I don't think I did. Let's just run the Fire Knight in the background. So this is my tablet. All right, let's see if I finish the Fire Knight one. If not, then I can go. I think I'm almost done with the Fire Knight one. Boy, it's really laggy though. Fire Knight tournament? Yeah, we got to finish that. Okay, well that'll just finish real quickly here. And then I can do the, 50 points. Okay, so let's leave that alone. Okay, so I'm going to log into yours now, Cletus. How's it going, Cletus? We had a party at the house today. So I didn't get to do some of the raid stuff I wanted to do. And this was a roster review that I was trying to do last time. Go in. All right. It's all right, we're logging in. See, how do I toggle that? Where is that? No, that's not what I wanted. Oh, it's over here. All right, there we go. All right, I'm in. All right, Cletus, boy, you're sitting on a lot of energy, so we're going to track a couple things here. First thing I'm going to try to do for you is promo code. Let's see if you've got this. PP500. Some people haven't used. There you go. You're welcome. I helped you out a little bit. So at a minimum, promo code PP500 only works on the PC client. So since we're talking about that, let me pull up an infographic on that. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. We'll take a look at everything. I have an infographic about that because that's one that quite happens quite often. See, I think I pinned it also. I'm looking here. It is right here. So we'll put this on the screen. Oh, it's my computer that's borked. Oh my God. Hopefully this doesn't wreck the stream at all. There we go. There's the promo code. I'm just collecting things right now so that when I record the video, I have all of it handy. There's that. Okay, good, good, good. All right, so you're sitting on a high amount of energy. So the first thing I'm going to check is your activity levels, right? And because that's a determination of a lot of things, right? And the reason why activity levels are important. So like if I pull up my account, one of the main ways to check activity levels, this is my account right here on the screen. Let's see. I'm going to check like how many classic arena battles one is doing. And as a reference point, so far this week, I've played 196 battles with 3 losses, right? Now, the ratio here is a little bit extreme. That's even good for me. But the point is I've almost played 200 matches. So let's go take a look at what you're doing here. And it doesn't need to be 200, but maybe 100, right? So let's check that first. 135. Yeah, you're playing the game. Woo! That's that's great. The ratio here doesn't matter. It's just like if I logged into your account and it said 10 battles, I'd be like, well, hold on a minute. Are you even, what are we doing here? Like what's going to be? So you are committed to Raid Shadow Legends. You're playing a ton. This is great. Also, it looks like you're going down the path that I went down with accuracy. And as far as I'm concerned, you're in gold 5. You've defeated Classic Arena, right? All right, let's see here. So you're doing great. What's up, Johnny Bruja? All right, let's see here. Boy, this is way too big. I got to figure out how to do this. All right, and so we don't need to look at that. Let's take a look at your missions right here. Yeah, you're working on it. Yeah, you're working on it. I would focus on Marius. Yeah, focus on Marius. Clear hard mode stage 5 or higher on the dragon layers 20 times. Some of these are just really tedious. Yeah. Yeah, Marius is so good. This is like top priority on this account is getting Marius as soon as possible. The thing about Marius is that it could take months, if not longer than months. I feel like you're not gonna oops and slip accidentally into Marius. And what's gonna happen is there's a high percentage chance that Marius is going to be the best character in your account. So this is just not going to happen accidentally. This is going to be like every day, how do I move forward in Marius? All right, clear hard node, stage 5 or higher in Dragon's Lair. Yeah, I'm sitting on 2,400 energy. Let's work on that. Let's chip that away. Let's chip away at that today. Let's go look at the dungeons real quick. Dragon. All right, looks like you were doing it. You were doing it. You were already doing it. And you can do 10, it looks like. All right, so you got, oh, look at this. You got some great characters. Oh, man, she's good. Yeah, you get some great, these are great characters. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you can run that over. So that's just a matter of, I think you know this. I think everybody knows this. But Marius, I guess the point is that Marius is so good, right? All right. Yeah, and then Empress. Yeah, Empress is the other one that's pretty important. Let's take a look at that. Fragment summons. All right. Oh, no, that's not good. That is not good. All right, we'll talk about that. So this is just a participation prize for playing even poorly in Chimera, right? I plead the 5th. Yeah. No, here's the thing though. Chimera. Okay, so your alliance is playing, right? So this is just a matter of rolling in here with, let's say, like if you don't want to think about this, just roll in here with your clan boss team and hit the button. You know what I mean? It's a participation at some point. And I believe that you can sim these now, right? Yeah, you can sim these. You get Theodosia. You get all these. Wait a minute, you get Theodosia? I would say, I've even looked at your characters. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so just do it. It doesn't matter how well you do on that. You just got to do them. This should take a total of... This should take 9 months. And you're more than... You're halfway there. So I'm going to say this is going to take you like four more months. 4 more months of doing both keys on Chimera. And you don't even have to do well at it. I feel like Chimera is kind of a pain in the ass and the reward's kind of shit. So it doesn't really matter. I know. We're not getting there yet. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Let's check this real quick. Okay, you're already buying that. Good. You're spending correctly. All right. So spending. All right, let's check the Demon Lord. Okay. So let's see. That is all good. Let's check the dungeons real quick. So far, everything looks good. Ice Golem 10. All right, that's going to be a thing if you want to get Marius. Spider 10, okay. Dragon 10. Fire Knight. Oh boy, yeah, Fire Knight's the hard one. All right, let's see. I'm just going to write down this. Let me just write this down. Ice Golem. H10, Fire Knight. There's some opportunity there. Sand Devil. Okay, this is going to single-handedly change your account way more than those other two. This will change your account right here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to identify where to focus on next that will actually benefit your account the most and the quickest in all game modes. So far, without a doubt, Sand Devil 25 is where I'm leaning on where to focus. Yeah, I mean, this too. But let's just check everything. Yeah. Well, we're gonna let's figure out where to focus first, right? That's gonna be. So there's a couple things that are going really well, right? Activity levels on the count are great. You're playing in. You've completed Classic Arena. Fine. So then it's like, okay, well, where do you spend your time to get the most value, right? Well, Chimera, we just talked about it. Chimera is just doing both keys, making sure you get a double chest. You can sim it, right? If you don't want to think about it too much, just play your clan boss team. The point is this: it got to be collecting shards on collecting shards on Empress, because Empress is a character that a lot of people are going to be rolling into around the 9-month mark of playing the game, right? Where is this account at? All right, I think this is more than 9 months. You're 180 days, so no, you're actually on track. Okay, you have some god tier characters, my friend. Holy shit! All right, so one of two ways to approach this is we can find another solution, or you can ride this out until you get Empress, right? Yeah, you can either ride this out until you get Empress, which is I didn't realize this is a 180-day account. Holy moly, you are doing great. my friend. And that's why you only have 41 shards, is because you're right where you're supposed to be. You may have missed a couple. There's some randomness. There's some luck on this. But you're actually on track on Empress then, based on the length of the account. And holy fuck, you have some great characters. Holy shit. Oh, look at these. You got Nell. You got Theodosia. You've got Mikage. This right here is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Who else do you have in your account? And looks like you're doing the fusions just fine. Mavara, Talena. All right. Yeah, you're getting the fusions. Masahiro. You got our friend right here, Vault Keeper. Holy hell, you got some great. Holy shit, look at this roster. Holy shit. Holy shit, you got Farrell. This is a great account. This is some big boy buddy, which is fine. All right, let's do a quick inventory of the good characters he has in his account real quick. We're going to do that on Hell Hades tier list. And on that tier list, you can hit Show My Champs. And when you do, it's going to ask me to log in. And it's going to log in through me, but I've got your account loaded through their optimizer. When I hit Show My Champs, it'll show your champs. Let's see, let's go like this. And what do you got, man? You got some great characters. You got Mithrala, Mikage, Farrell, Fabian, Sabriel, Mavara, Sidex. All right, that's one that I'm not familiar. And then look at all these fives, man. Look at these 4.5s. All right, so you have probably, I'm going to go out and say it this way. I think you have enough characters and enough good characters to probably do everything in Raid Shadow Legends. If you're coming up short, it's not going to be because of characters. In fact, you're deep into Fusion Land. I'm going to say this: you probably could just focus on fusions, which I think is a pretty fun way to play the game, anyways, and be just fine. It could be a gear thing. Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. It's like a little puzzle here, right? Oh, the resolution on that shit. Let me try to pull this up a different way. And we might have to, you may not want to wait for the Sandoval solution that I was going to suggest. All right, hold on. Lydia? Oh, yeah, Lydia is going to be important too. Yeah, I don't see Lydia. Okay. Let's see where we are. Yeah, there's zero reason that, well, there may be other reasons, but this should be a high priority right here. Lydia is such a good character. Okay, Faction Wars. Okay, so what's going to launch your account forward so far? Faction Wars, getting Lydia. Faction Wars hard and getting the better glyphs in the higher difficulty. Okay, we're just getting there. It's a puzzle. We're letting it. It's a it's a steak. We're letting it marinate. We're trying to figure out where the most where the best use of time is going to be in this game and or money. Right? We're trying to determine which is going to be the most efficient way. Like if I was going to take over this account, what would I start working on today? And let's see if he's, and by the way, fusions, yeah, continue doing your fusions, right? See, are you working on this one right here? This is actually one of the easier ones that's running right now. Let's see where you're at. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, fusions I think are no-brainer on this account. I think that's going to be an incredible amount of value to do that. All right, let me check back in on my account real quick and just make sure that it's not idling, and I think it is. Let's see. Let's just idle up this tower. Oh, wait. Are we done with tower? Yeah, we are done with tower. All right. Well, tower's kind of a waste now. Let's just go to hard. And... oh, yeah. This is bonkers. Yeah, this is bonkers. The amount of mythicals that he has. Absolutely bonkers. And this account does not play on the PC client. So also, you know how these work, right? Are you familiar with this, Cletus? You know what these are for? I don't know if you're saving them for a rainy day. Money can't buy knowledge, I agree. All right, so this is, yeah, there's a ton of resources there. Well, all right, you don't need to use this now, but this is a ton of resources. But you're also sitting at max right now with 2,400. All right, you have energy for days. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna see. I think you're right, Sexy Beast. We're getting there. All right. So, before we go any further, you're definitely in a, so far where the direction I'm leaning, and I haven't got to the core of it yet, but there's a couple things. Empress is a conversation, but we can pivot to Sand Devil. I'm guessing that you have the right characters to do just fine in Sand Devil. All right. The other, because you have a ton of characters here. I'm sure between all of these characters, you could make it happen. Right? But Sand Devil 25 and Lydia. And then working on Marius, right? You're going to have to chip away at Marius. Marius is just not going to happen on its own. All right, so we got Marius. All right, that's something for later in the video when we get there. All right, that's at the beginning of the video. All right. All right. Let's check this real quick before we good. Okay. Good. All right, we're going to go into the hard stuff now. All right, 9-piece material. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, man. Yeah, oh. No! No! Oh boy. No, you see what this is, right? He's got right there. He's got two Mercurial banners. He's running an 8-piece Mercurial with the two banners. He's running an 8-piece Mercurial while sitting on two Mercurial banners. God, what's wrong with that? That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. All right, I'll do it in a nice way. I'm a little bit animated right here. All right. It doesn't matter. They got to get re-rolled. It doesn't matter. You kind of have to go all. Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that. He's got speed on this one. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this. There's speed right there. But you can re-roll these. Well, maybe not. All right, we'll talk about that. Yeah, I kind of feel like Mercurial is an all or nothing situation. Yeah, this is all right. You might, but it doesn't matter. There's some things that trump this. Like, there's no point in doing the rest of these in Mercurial. Yeah, there's no point in doing the rest of these in Mercurial. Mercurial happens to be a set that is very much all or nothing. Yeah, this is about Sand Devil and Faction Wars, right? This is about Sand Devil and Faction Wars. Yeah, this is about Sand Devil. This is all about Sand Devil. All right, let's keep going. I know. We got to look at this. All right, now this looks good. That's good. Okay. No worries. Fine. All right, and oh yeah, Mercurial. Oh man. Oh man. All right. Yeah, I think Mercurial is kind of an all. I mean, if you're gonna do Mercurial, you gotta go all the way. Yeah. Yeah, the potential of this account is bonkers though. All right. So yeah, if you're gonna so so let's talk about what Mercurial is and what it isn't. Mercurial is one of the most busted sets in Raid Shadow Legends at a 9-piece against everything but bosses. It doesn't work against bosses. Let's just put it out there. It doesn't work against Hydra, doesn't work in Chimera. It doesn't work really well inside of, that kind of stuff, right? Dungeons against the boss, right? what I mean by that, though, a little bit more specifically, is total guard. I guess we should talk about Mercurial in a separate sentence than total guard. Mercurial still has value outside of total guard. Yeah, there's some resistance, HP, speed, fine. But the real value is this 9-piece bonus right here, where it basically, right here, also places a total guard stack at the start of the champion turn if they have no total guard stacks. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous in PvP. It's not like 1 guard, 2 guards. No, it's just that it keeps coming back and keeps coming back. It keeps coming back. 9-piece Mercurial is probably the most ridiculous broken gear set in Raid Shadow Legends right now in PvP or against waves. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. So the value, I mean, going all the way to 8 and then not putting the 9th piece when you have it in your gear, it's criminal, right? It's criminal. Let's see here. Oh, wait, maybe you don't have it. Oh, no, you don't have it here. But you did have it on, okay, so you don't have it here. So you got to work with what you have. No, it's right there. No, these are lizard. You just don't have it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, you're good. Right here, you kind of just got to. If you're going to go down this Mercurial path. High elves? Wait. Wait. Maybe I don't understand what's going on here. Did I do this wrong? Oh, you just don't have it. Sad face. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see. I see what's going on now. I see what's going on. Maybe this is not that big of a deal then. I see what's going on. All right. Well, we got to get you a Sand Devil 25 team. Because that's what's going to move this account forward. Sand Devil 25. And I don't think you should wait for Empress. All right. Let's talk about Godseeker. All right. So this is the most generic, non-roster specific solution. Does that make sense with the way that I worded it? This is a non. This is just a. Yeah, yeah. Sand Devil. All right. Let's just go. Let's see if the fundamentals of the gear are sideways. No, that looks good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the breakthrough on this account is gonna be all right. You have a good understanding of gear. Um. Yeah, you're fine. Let's take a look at your arena team real quick. Boy, that's a that's a team right there that that's a slow team. I like it. I'm surprised you're not running intimidating presence anywhere, but I don't know. That may not matter. Um, so you're getting all your damage from the cock. Some cock damage. All right. Yes. And so there's two places where you're going to get your cock damage. Hmm. What a weird team, though. And why not Fabian? Oh, you just got Fabian, huh? Yeah, you just got Fabian. Roster review, yeah, I do them all the time. Yeah, hang on, hang with me. If you want, let's see how many I have in. Let's see. All right. All right. So night flyer, Discord. All right. So okay. I just want to go out there, Cletus. You have a very unique problem that not a lot of people are going to have. You've got an account that is 6 months old. Um, you're kicking ass. You're taking names. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you have more than enough characters to do everything. And the reason why I say that is there's some characters that you're going to get along the way in your journey in Raid Shadow Legends that will fill the holes that you don't currently have. And I'll give you two examples right out of the gate. One is going to be Empress and one is Marius. Like one of the comments was that didn't have enough damage, right? Well, how do you move your account forward in the meantime? Well, what game mode is going to give you the most amount of benefit in moving your account forward? And it's going to be gear. It's going to be gear. And the best way to get better gear is going to be, and I'm going to say that there's going to be three ways that this account's going to get better gear. One is going to be Sand Devil and Ascending Gear. Two is going to be Faction Wars and getting better glyphs. And the third one is going to be focusing on Savage and Lethal. Now, Savage is always available in Fire Knight, so you're not doing well in Fire Knight, but you're going to have to do better in Fire Knight. All right, so moving up in Fire Knight, and then Lethal is going to be a Doom Tower that happens every third rotation. Currently, we're not in the Lethal rotation, but it's the Dark Fae rotation. And the Dark Fae rotation is just you have to go all in and grab up every good piece of Lethal as possible. Yeah, so if you wanted to go, if you join the Discord server right there, then you can at me and then we could link up and then I could do a roster review. Yeah, you need, if you're going to have good damage dealers, you're going to need Savage gear. Yeah, yeah, save all the little keys on, yeah. Yeah, you got to go crazy on Lethal gear when the Doom Tower rolls around. Let's talk about Fire Knight. Do I think you should get fusion tokens, get new next chant? I actually am not sure that your roster has any deficiencies when it comes to characters. Newt most certainly will help with Fire Knight, but I highly suspect that you have more than enough characters to do everything in the game. With the amount of mythicals that you have, you should be able to do nearly everything. I don't feel like the deficiency in your account by any means is lack of characters. Yeah. Like this is, look at this. Like this right here was a team I used for a long time, the double Neldors. Yeah. Newt would help. Now that I'm looking at this, yeah, go for Newt. Yeah, I think Newt actually would help your account now that I'm looking at this. And the reason why I'm saying that is I've built this team right here. Mikage, Neldo, Kryodan, Farakin. It's fine, but this is going to require some pretty intensive gear build. And you're going to have to put it in these epics. I actually think Newt would be a good way to go. Sexy Beast, you see what I'm saying? I think Newt would be the way to go, actually. Yeah, best nukers. Yeah, I think I know this current fusion right now is pretty bonkers too. No, this is for Sand. This is for Sand Devil. I actually think Godseeker is a better way to go. Um, I don't think that this character is that useful outside of Sand Devil. Where's that Godseeker video? Yeah. Bommel. I think Bommels can be brute forced nowadays. The one that shields always provokes you is the Scarab King. Frankly, Scarab King now can be soloed by a lot of different champions with this that golden elixir relic. Golden elixir relic kind of solves like this one right here, right? Oh man, you're sitting on 1, 2, 3 wand of submissions. Hmm. All right, that's great. Oh, this worries me, my dude. That's a great. You got those are two great mythicals right there. You got two amazing mythicals. Yeah, I think you should utilize all of these wander submissions. This is probably one of the more generic, just really good. You got four not being used. Yeah, I know, right? Let me put together a. Hold on, I got something coming. No, I'm trying to organize my thoughts for a video in a direction. Um, and what I'm going to say is it's easy to lose focus on what to do, and I actually think this is a unique. I think you have enough characters to do everything, and so this is going to require like a fundamental shift in what to focus on. And the purpose of I think the focus of the video is going to be about how really characters are just a shell, and actually 80% of the stats from a character are going to come from gear and artifact hauls and things like that. It's not going to come from the character itself. So having a good access to the resources to build up the gear, to equip the gear on the characters correctly, is going to make your character's performance nearly probably triple. And I think, okay, so let me see if this makes sense. And I audit my work here, guys. So I'm trying to think about how to put this into a context of a video, right? Where your stats really come, a gear is king, period. Gear accounts for 70 to 90% of a champion's total stats. And rather than getting into that, but let's say a champion has a base stat of 95, right? Well, you can get 240 more stats from gear, from gear and blessings and things like that. The point of this is that 90 to 70% of a champion's stats is going to come from Great Hall, blessing, relics, gear, artifacts. It's going to come from everywhere else. Yeah, tag me on Discord at Mobile Gamer and I'll add you. We have to see where we are as far as time goes tonight. No, you're doing great. It's just I got to organize my thoughts. No, I'm just trying to figure out. Let's talk about ascending gear. This is a very different. Yeah, you can't send me a friend request. All you can do is tag me on my Discord server, and then I can add you. I got everybody blocked, so I have to add you back. I have to see that you tag me, and then I have to add you. Let's get through this one first before we move on to that. So when is the dark fate the dark fey rotation going to come around? All right, every 3 months. I think it is the next rotation. There's only 3 rotations, so This is one of those. All right, let's make a video. All right. It's roster review time, and this is going to be a different one than normal because today we're going to focus on the extreme importance of gear because this account is stacked as all get out with every possible amazing character in the game. And so there's some things that are holding this account back, and characters and mythicals are not one of them. This is a 6-month-old account, and there's probably a lot of people right now that are just absolutely drooling over this. And I do think this account is in a good place to be highly successful in Raid Shadow Legends. But we're going to talk about the areas of where to focus on next to get the most of all of this yummy, delicious goodness. Now, if you haven't done so already, click the link in the description because we got a brand new promo code. I got to start a new account with this because I'm so excited about King Alkabar plus Pelops. Promo code RAID7 in the first 24 hours. 3 amazing, epic support champions that are perfectly tuned to work with the legendaries that you're going to get right from the start. If you're trying to start a new account like I am and you're having difficulty, the best way to do it is on the PC client. If you don't have access to PC client or you can't get it to work, and you get through the tutorial and you don't have King Alkabar, shoot me an email. I might be able to help you out with that. So this account is stacked and ready to go. And what we're going to talk about mostly in this video is gear and the importance of gear and why it makes all the difference in Raid Shadow Legends. And there's a couple things I just wanted to point out, and I've got a lot of information here because this account is just stacked, is that stats really come from everywhere else other than the character's base stats. When you get a character unlocked, they'll have a base speed of, let's say, 95 to maybe 110, somewhere in those areas, but around 100, let's say. Well, you can get a character's total speed, in the 400 or 500 range. So stats are going to come from almost everywhere else in Raid Shadow Legends, specifically gear, but also going to be your great haul and things like that. And now we've got blessing and relics. So we're going to talk about that in particular because this is where a lot of this can thrive and launch forward. And we're going to start with ascending gear, and we're going to talk about glyphs. And then from there, we're going to talk about gear sets in this video. So the biggest thing that is going to help this account to go over the top, amazing, lightning better is going to be Ascension, and it's going to be Sand Devil. So what we're talking about is right here, he's got Mercurial boots. These are 5-star boots. I'd like to assume that he could get a 6-star boots, which would have a base speed of 45. But where the difference is really going to show up is when you send this gear using the materials that are here on this top of the gear. And this is going to come from Sand Devil. Sand Devil easily is going to make this over the top better because this is going to give you access to the dust so that you can re-roll this so you can get extra speed. Like if speed was a concern, the idea and the best place to be in when it comes to, let's say, Mercurial gear is to have a 45 speed boot, which is going to be a 6-star boot, fully ascended through the 6 stars, and you're going to get an extra 12 speed. So you're going to get that 45 plus 12, 57 speed. It's going to be a big deal. And this is where you're going to get extra accuracy, from the boots, you're going to get extra speed. But in the chest pieces right here, you're going to get all kinds of delicious, yummy upgrades here. We're probably going to be looking for HP, attack, defense, accuracy, or resistance, depending on the character. And then if we're over here and we're on a damage dealer, we're going to ascend. We're going to want to be able to get the HP, attack, defense. But most likely on most damage dealers, we're looking for crit rate and crit damage. That is going to be a huge part of progression and getting, a large chunk of stats. It's like almost like half of the stats are being left on the table because not being able to send it. Now, ascending is primarily a function of going into Sand Devil, and Sand Devil is going to be one of the more tricky ones. It's got some unique mechanics, but the end goal is to get to 25. And I'm going to suggest that there's 3 ways that one can go about getting to Sand Devil 25. Now, this is a 6-month-old account, and the easiest way to get through Sand Devil is to play inside of Chimera and make sure that every week you're doing your 2 keys and you're an alliance that's allowing you to get double chests. So that way you're getting the participation and getting Empress. Now, he's been playing the game for about 6 months. 42 shards is about right. I've heard people have been able to get Empress, and it's somewhat random, right? There's some RNG involved in this, but getting Empress unlocked is going to be the easiest, simplest way for most players to solo Sand Devil, getting Empress. So you can do this as early as 9 months. I'm going to say that he's at least 4 or 5 months away, and so we're going to come up with 2 other solutions. You don't want to wait 4 or 5 months, but Sand Devil with Empress, and it's a normal build. It's a normal arena build for Empress. So it's not like you have to go out of your way and do a speed tuned with very specific gear sets and things like that. But Empress can go in with 4 pieces of food and solo Sand Devil 25. This single thing, being able to do Sand Devil 25, is going to launch this account the further, the fastest, and the quickest. Now, there's 2 other solutions to the Sand Devil, right? We're going to talk about that. First one's going to be Empress. The next one is going to be Godseeker. And he has Godseeker on this account. Godseeker is a Void Epic. Now, this one is going to be kind of a hassle to set up. But Godseeker is a champion that can do all of this. And he's got Godseeker right here. And I'm not going to get into all of it, but it looks like he's already started the build. But it's going to be a regeneration immortal build. And it needs to be at a certain speed. It's a little bit too slow. And it needs to have more HP. But got to have the right gear sets for it to work. Regeneration plus immortal. This is very, very close. The idea is to go into Sand Devil 25 with Godseeker as the lead. And then some sort of champion that does a lot of damage. And there's going to be a loop, and it may take several minutes. This particular strategy, when I was doing it, was taking me often about 6 minutes to get through it. There's an entire video about it. Finally got this to work, Sand Devil 25 Godseeker. I'll put a link to that in the description. It's a very narrow, very specific build on Godseeker plus 1 other champion and 3 other pieces of food where you can get through Sand Devil 25. The last one is just to get lucky and have a character that has the right type of mechanics, which is going to be the sleep mechanic. And he has Chronicler Adolin, which may be a other solution. That type of solution is going to be dependent upon one's account, right? Some people are going to have a character like this, but in general, an epic champion like Godseeker and tuning Godseeker, it's kind of a hassle to set up. It took me many months to get that to actually work, or just wait until you get Empress. Now, I think that the easiest solution for this account would be to focus on Godseeker. This is going to be huge. To be able to take these pieces of gear right here and boost them like crazy with the Ascension right here and get all of these extra stats that are right here in purple, specifically right here on speed. And the thing is that like right here, there's a chance to re-roll these things. And right now he's got a defense 13%, but it's a 1 in 7 chance to get these the speed right on the boots. And I got to tell you, every single opportunity, every single event that is tied around Sand Devil, I max out the event. It feels like I can't get enough of these resources, and being able to do Sand Devil 25, this is going to get those stats up and running. I'm going to say that this will almost double the output on the account. That might be an exaggeration, but it's a high number. Next one we have to talk about is glyphs. And glyphs are going to be a huge way of getting better stats on the account. This is going to be right here. Now, I'm going to say you want to be selective on where you put your glyphs. It's going to be on your better characters with your better gear. There's going to be a lot of pieces of gear in here that are of high importance, like Mercurial that has some, extra speed that's doing well. You're going to want to put glyphs. And glyphs is going to come from Faction Wars. And I think there's a couple reasons why to lean into Faction Wars on this account. First of all, this account has a ton of characters. We went through the list. The number of characters that this account has that are over the top or good or insane. It's just going to be a matter of taking the time inside of Faction Wars on a daily basis and being willing to move around the gear. I believe this account absolutely should have Lydia. Now, Lydia is also one of the better accounts in Raid Shadow Legends that everybody will get over time once you have completed the normal difficulty of Faction Wars. Getting into hard Faction Wars is a big deal because it gives access to relic materials, gives access to glyphs, and oh my god, glyphs are such a big deal. And then it also gives more access to perception, which is an amazing, I want to say, mid-game piece of gear set. Perception was critical for moving into the next stage. There are tons of other gear sets that are much better than perception. So I would say, focus the hardest on Sand Devil. And then I would say next would be to focus on getting through Faction Wars and getting into hard Faction Wars and getting the better glyphs. Other thing too about Faction Wars, this is going to be where to spend the points that you get from Live Arena. In Live Arena, you're going to be awarded materials. This is going to be a grind. Not everybody likes Live Arena, but where you're going to spend your resources, and what we're talking about here is the area bonuses. Faction Wars is going to be where to spend it. It's going to be grade 1, so it's going to be very simple. It's very inexpensive, rather. And the thing about doing this, and not a lot of people like Live Arena, but this is where you're going to get all of these stats, and this is going to be the easiest one to upgrade. And taking all of these to 10 is going to be a top priority because Faction Wars hard is very hard. Not a lot of people have finished Faction Wars hard. I mean, I believe the number is in a couple hundred have. A low number of people have finished Faction Wars hard. I myself personally am nowhere near, and every bit of stats are necessary to go through Faction Wars, and I would say that this is going to be a top priority to upgrade first. The next one we got to talk about is going to be access to ignore defense gear sets. And in this video today, we're going to specifically talk about Savage and Lethal. Those are going to be one of the more important gear sets when it comes to damage dealers. And this is going to be this ignore 25% of enemy defense. And Lethal is very similar. Let's see if we got Lethal here. Lethal is going to be the same thing. Ignore 25% of enemy defense. And then you got crit rate 10%. Another one, just since we're talking about my favorite gear set in the whole game is going to be Merciless. But for damage dealers, this is going to be of high importance. But any of these ignore defense right here. So it says 35% ignore defense on Merciless. Now, the thing about Merciless is going to be Cursed City. So there's going to be a limited amount. And then also the Lethal one is going to be a limited amount on the Dark Fae rotation of Doom Tower. So the Dark Fae rotation of Doom Tower is something to be aware of. Right now, it is not currently running. And the easiest way to check that is to go over into the tab right here, hit Battle, and then go over into Doom Tower. And you can see right here it says Eternal Dragon. This is going to reset in 6 days, 8 hours. And I believe the next rotation will be Dark Fae Tower. And run, don't walk. Go crazy on the Dark Fae. It's going to be one of the more important gear sets because it's a 4-piece set that has ignored defense. And this is going to allow your damage dealers to do so much damage. I can't explain how important getting that ignore damage up as high as possible is going to allow to do just crazy numbers in a lot of different game modes. So, I mean, this is in addition to making sure that your damage dealers have 100% crit chance, the highest crit damage as possible. Then if it's an attack-based champion, then you need high attack. If it's an HP-based champion need a high HP. But the last component where a lot of the damage is going to come from is having that ignore defense set, which is going to be Savage, Lethal, or Merciless. Doom Tower is just every third rotation. So the main way of getting this ignore defense set is going to be the Savage set, which is going to be in the most frustrating and hardest, the hardest dungeon in the game, and that's going to be Fire Knight. Now, Fire Knight has a lot of very important gear sets. Two that I'll name real quick is going to be Savage and Regeneration. Also, it's going to be the hardest one to get to stage 10, which is going to be requirement for finishing Marius missions. And Marius is going to be one of the most bonkers, easily the best legendary in the game. Yes, there's some mythicals better than him, but no, he is one of the best champions, easily, hands down. Now, couple different ways of tackling the Fire Knight. Now, one of them would be to go and get Newt from the tokens. That's definitely a way of doing it. The other one is going to be, there's going to be a couple epics when paired up with Mikage that are going to get the job done. The two basic ways to get through Fire Knight is going to be an attack all mechanic aligned with a freeze mechanic. And I believe this bottom team right here is a good example of a readily available team that most people might have access to. Mikage is going to be one of the easier mythicals to get, and Mikage has an attack all. The whole team attacks at once. Same thing with Farakin. The whole team attacks at once. And the reason why that do is that's going to get that shield counter down. And then once the shield is down, if you hit him with a freeze, for example, on a basic attack, then it's going to knock his turn meter. That's one of the biggest differences between Faction War, Fire Knight Normal and Fire Knight Hard is the way that the turn meter reduction works. It's tied to freeze. Well, these are going to be some epic champions that do that. Neldor and Cryoden both put out freeze on their basic, and they're going to knock down the turn meter. And so when you go into the battle, you're going to attack everybody with Mikage, you're going to attack everybody with Farakin, and then when all of his shield is down, then you're going to freeze lock him with the champions like Cryoden and Neldor. This is going to be absolutely important and vital for not only getting from Marius, but getting access to the Savage gear, which is going to be the core area of where you're going to get that ignore defense gear, which is going to ramp up the damage on your damage dealers. And over time, you're going to build up a ton of Merciless and Lethal, but truly the only one that one can farm high quantities of is going to be Savage, and that's going to be required. The requirement for that is to be able to get through stage 10. I actually felt that stage 9 was harder than stage 10. And the reason for that is I was trying to do that with Mikage, Neldor, and Neldor. And the problem with that is that the affinity is weak there, and then ran into some problems with that. That may also require another champion named Yakarl. And I never remember where Yakarl is. I'm not sure if it's in the clan shop. Yeah, Yakarl's right here in the clan shop. So this is Yakarl. But Yakarl is a void affinity legendary that you can get over time inside of the clan shop. And then that he has a freeze mechanic on him as well. And I was able to get through it with Yakarl. If he had Yakarl unlocked, I would think that that would be an excellent replacement for some of these epic champions here, because specifically stage 9 is going to be a monster problem. Lastly, I just want to say there's a high degree of importance of relics. He's got a lot of very important relics on his account that are excellent, but he's not taking full advantage of one of the more readily available Wand of Submission. Oh my God, did a backflip when I saw how many extra Wand of Submissions. This is going to be a super important relic. Now, to wrap up this video, gear is super important. Definitely going to need to finish well in Sand Devil, focus on Faction Wars, and then get through Fire Knight. Also, there's a ton of opportunity on this account for extra resources. When you see a red dot in the game, this is going to be an excellent way. And if you haven't clicked on these red dots, there's a ton of stuff there. But look at that. There's a bunch of energy and attacks. And if you want to take advantage of these, you just hit the buttons. You don't even have to watch the episode. You don't even have to do it. If you hit the share episode button, it'll open up a a window for to like click to Twitter or something like that. And you don't even have to do it. And it just gives you the resources. So if you got any red dots there, and then also if you haven't on a PC client, and you only want to do this after you've been playing the game for a while, using the promo code PP500, I was able to do that on his account right now and get the following rewards. But if you're just starting an account, don't do that. Click the link in the description, and then the only promo code you should be using in the first 24/7 is RAID7. Promo code RAID7 to get the legendary Pel-Ups. This PP500 is not that important of a code, not nearly as important as getting that legendary. Bye for now. All right. Oh, yeah, there you. Yeah, your account's great. Your account's great. Your account's great. It just I feel like it's really easy to get lost when there's a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts in the game, right? And it can be a distraction, really. Yeah. All right. Let me upload that real quick, and then there was a couple people that hit me up. Somebody pinged me on Discord already in the chat area. I just added you as a friend. It's kind of first come, first serve. If you're interested in a roster review, my suggestion is to go onto my Discord server. You cannot add me. I have to add you. And so the easiest way to do that is to join my Discord server and then at me. And when you at me, I'll get a ping here that I can see, and then I can add you as a friend. I just added somebody as a friend, and so they have to accept my friend request, and we'll take it from there. Let me see here. Let's get this uploaded. Nice account, by the way. What do you want to do? Yeah, how do you join the server? You click the link right there. I typed it into chat. Yeah, sell 4 stars. Yeah. Yeah, he needs a gear cleanse. All right, somebody just sent me one. All right, here we go. Hello. All right, here we go. All right. There's some people that have been here for a minute now. We're just trying to get to. Okay, we got one loaded up right now. All right, let me turn this off. Night Flyer, we're gonna try yours right now. I'm glad you guys are all here tonight. Welcome in. All right. All right, Night Flyer, I'm going in. I'm going to kick you out. Here we go. We're going in. All right, it's loading up. And then this is my personal account right here in the background. Let's get this up and running in some way so that... What do I need to do here? 'Cause, 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 Oh, do I have this done? I'll tell you what I'll do. Because I need to finish this up. I'm going to run... let's run these in the background for the event dungeon. Let's just run that right now in the background. Probably should have saved that, but oh well. Dungeons. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that, now that I think about it. Oh well, it's done. Well, thank you, Dark Nightmare. My night's going great. Okay. We're plateau right now in the game. Okay, let's take a look at what you're doing. All right, let's get my account off the screen here. All right. We are in Night Flyer's account. And the first thing that I'm going to look at is going to be how long you played the game. So you're at 15 million, so you have a monster account. Means you've been playing the game for several years now. How long have you been playing the game, Night Flyer? The next thing I'm going to check is activity levels. And the reason why I check activity levels is because I like to see how much time one has into playing the game. And if you look at my Great Hall, I'm going to pull up my account here on the screen. So this is my account. If you look here at my activity levels, I played almost 200 Classic Arena battles so far this week. So let's take a look at what we got here. Okay. So we have a not a high amount of activity. So this is something to consider. How much are you willing to play the game? How many, how much time do you want to spend? Now, the thing about Raid Shadow Legends, Night Flyer says he's been playing for 5 years. So the thing about Raid Shadow Legends, there's a lot of different types of people that play the game, and not everybody is going to play the game the way that I do. And I think the best example of that is me and my wife, Kat. Hi, Kat. She's in the other room. Kat plays Raid Shadow Legends, and she loves the game, and she plays the game correctly, right? Because there is no correct way of playing Raid Shadow Legends. However you enjoy the game is the way that you enjoy the game. Because I play the game a fuck ton and I'm a weirdo, doesn't mean everybody should play the game the way I do. 196 wins, 3 losses, 98% versus 28. Okay, so when I'm doing this review, I gotta consider that this person that I'm doing a review may not want to play the game as much as me. And the thing I'll say about that is activity levels do kind of matter, right? There's no amount of money or knowledge that is going to offset one's willingness to actually play the game. It's just like you can play the game smarter, but activity levels matter more. You can spend a lot of money, but activity levels matter more. I'm just going to put that out there. Activity levels absolutely are going to be very, very important. Okay, so let's see where the areas of struggle are. Let's just look here at the relics. Okay. Are you full right now? This is interesting. There's nothing wrong with this, but I'm going to look a little bit further into this. In your forge, you have, over 1,000 pieces right there. 27,000. That's not a ton. Did not look at your live arena? Okay, we'll look at your live arena. Are you a crazy person in live arena? All right, here. Oh, boy. That's interesting. Why not here, though? Yeah, I don't know about this. I mean, are you beating Faction Wars hard? Let's take a look. Yeah, this is fine. You're good. You're all about the live arena. Okay. Oh, you got 25,000 points. Holy shit. All right. You play the live arena. You actually I'm a little ahead of you on this season. You're at 186. I'm a little ahead of you. So you're doing the 1320 at least. Not at all. All right, Faction Wars. All right. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with a guy named Vampire. Vampire typically is he's a live arena. He's got 100 million account. He streams here on Twitch. He pops into chat. I played with him a couple times. He's on another level. You know what I mean? He's there he is right there, Mad Vampire. So this guy usually is placing one or two in the season, and you can see that he has 100 million. He said that the other day here in chat, on this chat, that Faction Wars Hard is the single most important game mode for doing well in live arena. And what he meant by that was glyphs. Glyphs, glyphs, glyphs. Yeah, glyphs, and then getting that relic. Getting that relic in live arena is such going to be between. So glyphs are going to be bonkers, absolutely bonkers in Faction Wars Hard, which is going to be the next level of taking your gear over the top. For me on this account right here, I would just click all of it. You have 25,000. I would click these right now and go to town. Yeah, I would max these out at 10 right now and go to town. Yeah, this is going to be a good one right here. Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. All right, let me reset this real quick. Let's leave that. Let's see if I can get that to work. Faction Wars Hard is hard. Really, really hard, actually. Let's see if you've already done that one. We'll do it for you real quick. Okay. So this is going to be a big deficit right here. Okay. Let me just make sure that I'm assuming some things. I just want to make sure. Dungeons. Let's check this actually. Marius missions. Okay. Fire Knight Hard 10. Yep. Yeah, that's the hardest one. Let's take a look at your Fire Knight. This is going to be the hardest one. Ice Golem is the second hardest one, and you're fine there. Dragon is relatively easy to do hard 10. Fire Knight is a bitch. You can do it, though. That's you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. 25. 25. All right. Let's look at Hydra real quick. Benchmark. Okay, so you're getting over the 1.2 billion, so you're maxing out rewards there. Fantastic. Okay. Let's take a look at Chimera. So you're not maxing rewards here. I don't know if that really matters though. Right? I mean, how important is Chimera really at this point? Let's take your relic materials were through the roof. You're sitting on 27,000 relic materials, which I thought was interesting. Let's take a look at your relics. Yeah, the gem is, yeah, there's some gems that are super important. I don't know. I don't know if I like really think people should be like obsessing about Chimera, right? I mean, they said they're going to fundamentally change the way that Chimera plays out. You know, and I don't know what they mean by that. We haven't seen it. We also don't know if that was one person at Raid telling one content creator and it was that content creator's interpretation of what they meant by that. But the context of it was that they wanted to make Chimera more about the trials than brute force. Well, if it's going to be about the trials, the biggest problem with Chimera is going to be the accuracy and the resistance requirements. It's almost have to have both of these maxed out to get anything done there. They're just absolutely awful. Yeah, they're going to shift from trials from damage, right? And that's going to be about resistance and accuracy. All right. Let's see. I want to look at his relics. What's going on with relics? Looks good. That's super fun. Let's see here. I'll do this real quick for you, just to see if there was any that you had been ignoring. Maybe there's some that you're ignoring. Yeah, but Nias is bugged, right? Nias gets wrecked by Nice gets wrecked by Marius and Embrys, right? By the Necrosis? Or does Mercurial make that work? That's pretty nice, a 6. Yeah, I imagine he's super annoying. Or are you finding that he dies to the Necrosis and Marius? Yeah. I find that Nias just gets destroyed by Embrys and Marius. I do think he's pretty good though. Woof. How's it going, relationship facts? Yeah. He's good, yeah. No, I'm aware he's good. Very nice. Looks like we got it built up like a beast here. Look at this. We just got him tanky as all get out. All right. Double notes. Let's go. You should be able to run over Fire Knight with 2 newts, man. All right. Yeah, you double notes, man. It should just delete Fire Knight. Yeah, this is good. I like this guy. I mean, he's the most interesting mythical, like the one that, like, out of all the mythicals you have in your account, that would be the one that I would want the most. Oh, this guy. I probably would want Odin more than Nice, though. I find I don't like when I'm playing live arena. I'm more worried about Odin than Nice. I think Odin is so annoying. You got a lot of accuracy on him. You got him on a 9-piece Mercurial. Lightning Cage. Oh, yeah, this is great. This is great. Your gear looks great. Oof. Well, I guess that's okay, right? You got to do with what you got, right? Accuracy plus speed. Let me take this piece of gear off of you, my guy. That's great. So what's your let's see here. Let's do this. Hilvi? All right. Hilvi, Queen of Hearts. Okay. $303. Hmm. So yeah. So here's the difference, I think. So this is Mercurial, right? And you have at 303. This is Mercurial, and you have at 296. So this is what I'm making a case for right now is Faction Wars Hard. So I'm going to just show you some of my Mercurial characters right here. 378. Did I get luckier or did I have better glyphs? The answer is I have better glyphs. Does that make sense what I'm getting at? Actually, we got to do this one right here. Maybe I got luckier. Get out of the way. 4. No, this is not true. I got luckier. I just got luckier than you, that's all. What other one do I have as Mercurial? I just think you got more. There's money on the table. This 331 Mercurial. 325 Mercurial, but I think Mavara is up there. 310. I guess yours is good. I suspect that there's like, even on my account, the difference between is going to be, you know, speed 11. You know what I mean? Well, let's, you know, I don't know if you're like that right there, getting an extra 10. Actually, I would rather use that on Fabian though. Right? Fabian is where I really want. I don't really care if. All right, what do we got? 12 extra speed, 9 extra speed, 6 extra speed, 6 extra speed, 7 extra speed, 4 extra speed. All right, well, that's the one that needs to be upgraded, right? Well, it's one of those stupid pieces. It's only 5. Yeah, I think that glyphs is where it's at. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, I think the biggest opportunity on your account is going to be the glyphs that you get on a daily basis from Faction Wars Hard. I mean, I think when Faction Wars Hard, you've got all these really, I mean, Hilvy's a bonkers good character, right? You know, like there's a 4. There's a 4. That's a 5, right? We have nothing there, which is maybe just the draw. 4. Speed 9, yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do. And then right here, you have no speed. Yeah, that's just going to be getting lucky, right? Let's look at your Queen of Hearts. I love Queen of Hearts. That's another one. You have Queen of Hearts and you have Odin. Oh my God. Disgusting, my friend. She is at 296. Oof. Oof. Oof, right? Oh, you've already done 3. Yeah, I get it. 5. Oh, look at that. Are you running any lockout champs at all? You don't have Fabian. You don't have Fabian. What character did you do? Oh yeah, CC was a train wreck. Bassam? Oh, you have Bassam? Very nice. Oh man, this is killing you. Oh, rework attempts 8. Oh my god. I know, that's so annoying. Yeah, I would consider getting Fabian sooner than later. If you care about live arena, I think that Fabian, Telena, all of that stuff. Very in tag team arena. Yeah. Um, I think the meta right now is about lockout champions, which is not going to just magically show up in your account. Lockout champions are just not going to magically show up in your account. All right, hold on. Show up. Um, Let me put it to you this way. Lockout champions took me from silver 4 in Tag Arena to gold 3. I went from silver 4 to gold 3 because of lockout champions. I would just look into Fabian. I'm trying to see what other ones do you have. You have Alice? You don't have Crixia. Alice. You have Alice. I would look into Alice. Maybe revamp Alice. You don't have Talena. Maybe Alice. I recently switched my Alice over to use her as a lockout. She's actually pretty underrated. And you don't have Talena. Yeah, check out that video. That I make a case for why lockout champions are super important right now. I'm essentially running 3 lockout champions: Fabian, Talena, and Alice. Alice is like my third string, but Talena is pretty good. Fabian, of course, Fabian's like 5 steps above. And if you have Crixia, Crixia would be another one, but nobody has Crixia except for Cat. You only do 2 new fusions. You're not doing fusions. Yeah, I got to do. Are you doing this one? This fusion's like this fusion's. I think. I mean, yeah, this fusion right now is one of the biggest no-brainer faction war fusions. The reason why the faction wars hard is so important is right here. You've got +4. This could be +12. Does that make sense? That's how important those glyphs are. This +4, this could be 8 speed faster. This could be 8 speed faster. This could be 7 speed fast. They're just the glyphs are super important. It's crazy how important they are. Yeah. I did. Yeah, I'm not looking to do Darth Vader. I just had two people hit me up on Discord for re roster reviews. I prefer to do new ones. All right, if you're looking for a roster review that I've not done one for you before, the way to go about doing that would be to message me. Not message me, but tag me on my Discord server. So click on the link, join the Discord server. I don't really use Discord that much, frankly. Um, but just at Mobile Gamer, and then I will add you as a friend, and then we'll be in DMs after that. All right, I could do a roster review about this account. All right, I'll do one real quick. This is not going to be hardcore. Whoop. I mean, the answer to the I think the answer to this account is Marius missions. What do we got here? Marius missions, right? Oh, you're almost there. Well, not really. This one right here is what takes all the time. Get fucked on this one, man. This takes forever. All right. There we go. All right, I sent you a friend request, Mr. LV Gaming. So I don't know. Here's the thing. I think Faction Wars Hard is where it's at, right? Faction Wars Hard is where you're gonna get glyphs. When you go down here, you're gonna get these crazy glyphs. These crazy glyphs. They're all gonna come down here. It's a pain in the ass. If I wanted to do better in Faction Wars Hard, well, one, this fusion is the biggest no-brainer for Faction Wars because he's a Ogryn reviver, which doesn't exist. Fusions are so important for filling those gaps. Like, this is the biggest no-brainer for me. Was the biggest no-brainer fusion in a long time. The other thing is this. So if you're gonna do Faction Wars, is where you're gonna get the glyphs. Gotta max that out. You have a ton. You probably can max this out right now. I mean, they're not that expensive. I bet you could max this out right now, this second. And then Faction Wars is a pain in the ass. You just got to play it every day and get all the way up to, I think like on this account, being able to do 16 would be like a minimum. 16 at a minimum, and on the characters that you have good mythical pulls or whatever, you should be able to do 21. I can do 21 on auto on about half of mine currently. And that's where I'm getting all the good glyphs from. Because Mercurial is such a big deal in Raid Shadow Legends, I would consider looking into working with Alice. It looks like you have her in a vault right now. But Alice would be a champion that I would revitalize and look into. You've already got the books on her. This is very important right here. Increase the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 2 turns. Kind of bonkers. Not as good as Fabian, but good enough. And I wouldn't worry about damage on her. You can definitely build her for damage if you want. I think it's better to build her with higher accuracy. You got high accuracy on her. But then she would need to be fast. Probably in the 350 area. 350 with 500 accuracy would be fine. I think Alice is super underrated right now. As far as her blessings go, I would just put whatever's going to make her faster here. Use a wand of submission, whatever. Probably wand of submission would be the correct thing anyways. As far as her blessing, Brimstone's kind of a waste on her. I would do one of two other blessings. I'm going to have to move her into the vault, right? There we go. I'm not going to do it here, but I'm just going to show what I would consider on her. Intimidating presence, if you don't have intimidating presence, but if you have an abundance of intimidating presence, I would look into temporal chains. Temporal chains is amazing, but don't ever use the 6 because it says it changes from decrease enemy speed by 5% for each active buff up to 15%. Temporal change is amazing, right? Up to 5 stars. At 6 stars, temporal change becomes okay, I'll make a video about it. All right, I'll make a video about it because I have some stuff. I thought I had nothing to say, but I have a lot of things to say. It's roster review time, and we're going to be taking a look at Night Flyer's account, 15.8 million. He said that his account has stalled, and I got to tell you, I love this account because everybody plays the game a little bit differently, and looks like his account is focused on Live Arena, which is kind of fun. He plays a ton of Live Arena. I think that's great. Now, if you have not done so already, click the link in the description. You get your account started off right. We've got Galkabar, Tagor, and then use promo code RAID7 in the first 24 hours to get pal-ups. And if you want to start a new account and you're having a challenge with doing that, best way to do that is on the PC client. You can't get King Galkabar right when you get through the tutorial, and maybe that you need to do it on the PC client. Shoot me an email. I might be able to help you out. So there's a couple things I want to talk about because what I have found is one of the more important areas if one is trying to do well inside of all of the PvP, that could be either Tag Arena, Live Arena, Classic Arena, or even Siege, is going to be the quality of glyphs that one gets. And that is really going to be an important part to focus on the game is going to be Faction Wars. Now, Faction Wars hard is actually hard, and this requires discipline. Now, I'm going to say that an account that has this quality of roster and this quality of characters should be able to push all the way to stage 16 on every single faction. And then on the faction that one has good mythicals, should be able to do 21. Right now, I can do about half of my factions at 21 on auto. Like I just go and hit auto and it goes through it. But that requires being diligent and then also focusing my account on Faction Wars. Now, the problem with Faction Wars is that it doesn't feel the same as Live Arena. It's like people that like Faction Wars may not like Live Arena, and people that like Live Arena may not like this game mode and so on. I feel like they're on the other ends of the spectrum. Now, the good thing about liking Live Arena is that this is one of the easiest no-brainer places to upgrade the area bonuses in the Great Hall is into Faction Wars. He's sitting on 25,000 materials, which is not uncommon when you play a lot of Live Arena. Faction Wars, these are super easy to max out. And out of all the stuff here on this list, this one I have not regretted. Like, I maxed out, some of these other ones here, like Fire Knight. But then once I could beat Fire Knight, and I could beat it with a multiple versions of teams, I was like, oh my God, I don't need those resources. Once I'll give you the best example, Demon Lord. Once I could get 2 billion damage from Titus. It's like, did I need to put all those resources here at a grade 3? Well, I got to tell you this. The two that I've not regretted at all were Faction Wars, and they only cost 1. And then to a lesser degree, I haven't regretted my Cursed City. Cursed City is kind of important because that's where you get Mercurial and Supersonic Gear, which is super important. And then Faction Wars is just ridiculously hard. It's ridiculously hard. And this is where fusions are going to be important, and the rest of the video is going to be about fusions. Now, the current fusion is super important for Faction Wars. The other reason why fusions are going to be important is so that one can acquire the tokens to get the single probably most important character in Live Arena right now, which is Fabian. And he doesn't have Fabian. And I got to say that Lockout Champions are going to be the thing that propelled my account forward, not only in Live Arena, but also Tag Arena. Recently made a video about Tag Arena. A lot of people don't care about Tag Arena, but I was able to go from Silver 4, and I was always finding it hard to go to Gold 1, and you need to go to Gold 1 for one of the Ramatu missions, right? But going from Silver 4 to Gold 1 was a pain, and going from Gold 1 to Gold 2 was a pain, and going from Gold 2 to Gold 3, like I felt like every jump the players got twice as hard, and twice as hard, and twice as hard. I was able to get into Gold 3 solely with Lockout Champions. So Lockout Champions is going to be Fabian. And I think one of the most underrated champions right now, currently in Raid Shadow Legends, is going to be Alice. And we're going to talk about Alice. But why Lockout Champions? Lockout Champions are going to be vital because everybody's doing Mercurial everywhere all the time, always. And Mercurial's bonkers in a 9-piece, right? Because the total guard stack regenerates every turn. So you start off with 3, but then when you get down to 0 and you take a turn, you get 1 back. That makes a character like Hilvi super annoying because she's going through her abilities and then eventually she does her A3 and then you're not getting through the A3 because, you know, she's got block damage and then the stacks of Mercurial's back. I'm telling you, Mercurial is insane. You know what shuts that down? Fabian. You know what shuts that down? Alice. You know what shuts that down? Talena. Having a fast Lockout champion is going to be key. So what I would suggest on this account is to looking into Alice. And Alice, he already has booked out and he has at a 5-star. A lot of people have Alice at 5-star because she was a login champion, right? And I think there's 2 ways of building Alice. And I think a lot of people are building Alice to do damage. And my suggestion is if you want to play her in a live arena, build her with high speed and high accuracy. So this build already has a reasonable amount of accuracy, 500, but the speed is going to be much higher. Probably going to be your fastest champion, 370, let's say, or higher, depending on what level of competitiveness you play at. And the other piece that I would look into is, changing out the glyph, or the relic rather, and putting in Wanda Submission. Wanda Submission would be perfect on Alice the Wanderer. Now, I would also change out the blessing from Blibstone, and there would be 2 different blessings I would consider. The first one that I would consider would be Intimidating Presence. Typically, you need 1 character on the team with Intimidating Presence, and this is going to boost the aura. So if you're running a speed lead in your live arena, and I would assume that you would, this is going to strengthen your team's aura by 15%, weakens the team's aura by 20%. That is going to be impactful. Now, there could only be 1 member on the team that uses Intimidating Presence, but you just need 1, and probably a 5 or 6-star, 5 or 6-star, and it doesn't have to be on the lead champion. Just 1 of them has to have it. The next one that I would consider, which I think is of high importance, is going to be Temporal Chains. Now, Temporal Change is kind of crazy. It says decrease enemy speed by 5% for each active buff up to 15. And I think that would be the choice that I would put on Alice the Wanderer if I had the Intimidating Presence worked out. I want to say there's one cautionary tale. There's a severe problem with using Temporal Change. I'm going to switch to the other side of the screen. Temporal Change at 6-star creates a different problem with Marius in particular, because it goes from decreasing enemy speed for 5% for each active buff up to 15%, which is fantastic, right? That's huge. Because then you could have a champion with Intimidating Presence, and then you can have a champion with Temporal Chains. You're double stacking on this speed, right? But it suddenly becomes a liability, and Alice right here is perfect for doing this. But if, let's say you had a 6-star Alice, I would say do not use Temporal Change, because it says instantly decrease the turn meters of all enemies by 15% whenever an enemy receives a 3rd active buff. And that is going to create a monstrous horse of a problem when you come up against Marius. Marius is Very important champion right now inside of Raid Shadow Legends because he has a triple hit, and a triple hit's going to be very important through getting through Mercurial. And I think that Marius is going to be crazy good. And the reason why it's a problem is that not only do the turn meter reduction effects not work on Marius, but if you attempt it, he comes back hard with his A1. And that temporal change, a 6 red temporal change, is just you're gonna have to ban your opponent's Marius 100% of the time because he's just gonna be raining this on you over and over and over again. So that's gonna be a big problem. So I do think lockout champions are super important. The other thing I want to say about lockout champions, where I've been trying to do is on Alice, I would consider doing this depending on the quality of your supersonic gear. But if I was going to go into Alice on this account, I would try to get a 5-piece supersonic set on her. And the reason for that is that this allows you to cut in. And supersonic is good at a 4-piece, but it really is going to be a 5-piece because on supersonic, it looks like he's got tons of good one right here. This is the key thing to get on supersonic is fills this champion's turn meter by 2% per each buff on each enemy. That's going to be amazing against like Sifi. I can't tell you the number of times I've been playing up against Sifi, and I'll never ban Sifi. Or if I'm playing in live arena or tag arena and I see that my opponent has Sifi on defense, I will go in with my Talena, Alice, or my Fabian that's running supersonic, and it plays out the same way every time. Their Sifi is crazy, crazy speed, and Sifi goes first, gives a bunch of buffs to the team, which then makes my Fabian or my Alice or my Talena faster, and they go second. They cut in and offset all the advantages of their character going first and ruins their cooldowns. Absolutely ruins their cooldowns. 5-piece supersonic is super cool, and having their cooldowns increased right here just ruins champions, and it ruins Mercurial. Increase the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 2 turns, and also this does damage, so it's going to knock down a stack of Mercurial. I think people are sleeping on Alice the Wanderer. I would just abandon the idea of doing a ton of damage with her and focus on speed and accuracy, change to temporal chains or intimidating presence. Put a super fast Wanda submission would be great. Whatever is going to make her faster, and then supersonic set. And I think that would be amazing. And then Glyph. Go crazy in Faction Wars and get those glyphs on a daily basis. The number 2 live arena player in the world right now, Vampire, said that Faction Wars and getting those glyphs is the most important things for live arena players right now in Raid Shadow Legends. All right, if you haven't done so already, click the link in the description. You can start your journey off right with these amazing characters. I'm looking forward to getting I'm going to start a new account and play this out because I think it's that interesting. All right, bye for now. All right, I got a couple in queue, so hang with me. I don't know how many I'm going to be able to do tonight. All right, I hope the information there was useful or helpful. I would also look into the Fabian token for the fusion. I would look into Fabian. I meant to put that in the video, but do the fusion and get Fabian. Oh my God, best champion right now in live arena is Fabian, my opinion, easily. So annoying, so annoying. He's so good and so annoying, beyond annoying. All right, let's see here. Hey, all right, let's see what we got going on in this account real quick. Okay. What do I want? Let me send this over. Yeah, if you're thinking about a roster review, if you join my Discord server, you can at me, and if you at me, I'll add you. I've got one lined up right now. It looks like I don't know how many more I'm gonna do. It's way past my bedtime. I'm gonna probably do one more and then call it. Let's see. All right. Just type it out, sir. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna retype it. Just have it so I can cut paste and try it. Okay. Let's see here. This is my account right here. Let's load up and just see where we're at. Okay, let's see here. What do I want to do? Just hit refresh on that and hit that, and then let's load it up. 17, okay. Who's my favorite champ? Theodosia right now. I'd say Theodosia for a lot of different reasons, but mostly because I'm using her in multiple game modes for a lot of different reasons. But I don't think that many people have Theodosia, so it's probably a bad one to call out. What am I doing? Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's see if we can get in here. All right, Mr. Gaming. I'm in. All right, I'm pushing the button now. We're going in. Okay. This is going to be my last one, guys. 2.4 million. Check activity levels. Okay. So we'll start here. Activity levels. Um, so I will. So right now you've got a total of 35 wins and losses for the week on Classic Arena. My account here, I'm going to put on the screen. It's going to be a number closer to 200. So not everybody wants to play the game as much as I do. I get that, but there's something to be said about activity levels. Now, that's my account. The reason why it matters is that this column This right here is probably the area to focus on is accuracy, and we'll talk about why. Accuracy is going to be important because you're going to need to take one of these to 10 to get Arbiter. So Arbiter is going to be the main tutorial for getting started in Raid Shadow Legends, and the easiest way to finish that tutorial and to do the best in all of different game modes is to focus on accuracy. This 4% is in every single game mode. So the goal of this entire game mode is to get someday to gold 5, right? So bronze 4, and my experience with new accounts is that it is not challenging until you get to gold 1. And moving up, this is going to do a couple different things. One is that you're getting right now you're getting a 4% bonus in every game mode, and it's going to go up to 22%. We're just getting into gold 1, 14%. 14% HP, attack, defense in every single game mode, everywhere. So if you want to do better in all of Raid Shadow Legends, you got to focus first on Classic Arena. And the end goal is not to get into Platinum, but it's to get into Gold 5. You've beat Classic Arena when you can stay comfortably in Gold 5. So that's going to be the focus of this video. I don't have to look any further. I don't have to look any further in the count because everything falls apart when you're not in at least gold 1. The other thing is that these bonuses right here are in every single game mode, and you're going to have a hard time upgrading these until you get into higher levels, right? Because these materials, like you got 2 to 1, well, that's a push because this is a 2 to 1 ratio. But then it jumps up and jumps up and jumps up. And this is 2 to 1 to that. And it jumps up and jumps up and jumps up. I mean, you're going to be getting like 8 times the resources by the time you get up here. And the big break point is going to be gold 4, where you start getting 4 of these gold pieces. So let's take a look at your live arena team. And the basic strategy for Classic Arena is going to be low-hanging fruit. First thing you do when you log in is, are there any cheesy teams, right? There you go. Just do it. Get it done. Yeah. Okay. You got it. So first thing when you log in, do all of these low-hanging fruits. Hit refresh to get the low-hanging fruits. Then from there, it's like the first thing you do when you log in, first thing when you log out. And I'm straight up, just doing that should take you to gold 1. That is going to be about persistence and just persistently catching these things. Now, here's the reason why. Do you know the reason why? There are always people like me, where 100% of the time I've got a one-man defense. I always have a one-man defense. I don't need to talk about why, but understand that it's a thing, and you can beat me because I always have a one-man defense. So taking advantage of people like me is the plan. That is the basic plan to Arena. Log in a lot. Right when you first log in, go in and hit the low-hanging fruit. Take my Annabelle out. Before you log out, do it again. If you could do it every 15 minutes, you should be able to climb to gold 1 like it's nothing. Super easy. Super, super easy. Okay. All right, let's take a look at your team comp. Oh, there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this. Why not Mavara, though? Why not Alice? Yeah, you got to use Mavara. This is the best champion. How long have you had this account? How long? Wait, two questions. Two separate questions, I suppose. Have you had this account yourself personally since 2021? Because I'll be very direct with you. Because there's only one of two things: you either bought the account or you don't play a lot. And I have probably, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah. No, I know. It doesn't matter. Here's the problem, though. There is absolutely zero substitution to playing the game. There is, what I would suggest to you is, rather than me doing some stuff for you, because there's no amount of smart gameplay that is going to be meaningful that's going to outweigh actually playing the game. There's no amount of money you can spend on the game that is going to outweigh actually playing the game. My suggestion for you is this: for a single week, see if one can 100% complete the daily and the advanced quests, and being diligent about focusing on these missions, these arbiter missions. Try to make progress on these arbiter missions. This is the tutorial. One of the hardest things to do in Raid Shadow Legends is to take a serious amount of time off from the game and then lose track of the lessons learned in this tutorial. And I know, because I was one of those players. I started playing Raid Shadow Legends in 2019, and every time I came back to the game, I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I was completely lost. There's no substitute with playing the game consistently on a daily basis. There's nothing I could teach you. There's no amount of money you can spend that is going to offset actually playing the game. I don't know if that makes any sense. You just actually have to play the game. And maybe you like the game, maybe you don't like the game, maybe the game's for you, maybe it's not. But I don't think it's worth me giving you like this cool, there's no cool trick or just change your team like that. No, you just got to play the game. Yeah, you just got to play the game. I mean, if you don't, for now, I don't want to, maybe you could say, I don't really want to learn how to do my artifacts. Okay, well, don't. Just hit auto equip. You know what I mean? Just don't. Just hit auto equip. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely go and throw gear on your champions, and three things, and only three things for a week. Focus on finishing daily, advanced, and always be looking at this arbiter mission and trying to finish them. Just move forward in arbiter, move forward in arbiter, move forward in arbiter. There's no reason to be sitting on 4,300 energy. You can get through that. You can get through this. You can play this. You can play this game for days. You have enough resources to play this game a lot. Yeah, you can play this game for days. Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right. It is way past my bedtime. Thank you for being here. I will love to do, if I missed doing a roster review tonight, I can do one for you at another time, but it is an hour and a half past my bedtime. My baby's asleep. My wife is pissed off at me. And so I will say goodbye to all of you. Bye for now.
So now he's trying to be everyone's best friend, too. Seriously.